So the good news is I've negotiated with my wife, and she's allowing me to move her filing cabinets out of here, and that means I can fit another bookshelf in this room. The bad news is that side of the room, my usual backdrop, is a complete disaster right now. So yeah, we got this little temporary thing. But guys, we get to talk about the next Wheel of Time book, and I'm going to kind of talk about my wish list for that now. Hey, what's up, wheelies and dark friends? Mike back again with another wish list, this time for the, what number is this? The 12th book in the Wheel of Time, and the first one, not exclusively by Robert Jordan, but by Brandon Sanderson for Robert Jordan. By now, everyone knows the story about how Robert Jordan passed away and Brandon Sanderson has taken over for him. But the really weird thing about this video, guys, is I haven't actually done my review for Knife of Dreams when I'm recording this. By the time you guys see it on the channel, the Knife of Dreams review will be up, and I guess I'll put it up here for you or something. If it's actually done like I expect it to be, unless something crazy happens. But I wanted to go ahead and start reading The Gathering Storm. And I didn't want to actually do that before I'd actually done the review, so I recorded this a little out of sequence, so that's okay. So if I end up repeating a bunch of stuff that did end up in the Knife of Dreams review that I haven't done yet, I apologize for that, but I feel like some of those ideas are going to kind of seep over into this, but I don't know, because I haven't recorded that video yet. But that is where we are, and that's why I want to kind of keep these in sequential order, so that's why it's kind of like this. I guess where I just start off is just a straight wish list, guys. Obviously, this is spoilers for the first 11 books. I don't know why you'd be watching a Gathering Storm wish list if you've never read this series, book number 12. Yeah, if you don't know by now, I guess make yourself scarce so you don't have the story ruined for you, because I'm going to have to kind of talk about some of the things that have come before this, obviously, before I can go on and talk about what I'd like to see happen in this. Obviously, first up, there is something that I'm going to talk about that I know is kind of an unpopular opinion, and that is the Egwene storyline going right now. As much as I really liked Knife of Dreams, which obviously I'll get into it when I do that review, one of the storylines I'm not really caring for is Egwene, and I know that just talking with fans, they're kind of like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I really love this. And it's just one of those things, guys, where some things just click for some people and they don't click for others. And this one isn't really clicking for me so far. I don't really understand how Egwene kind of has the stroke that she has at this point. She's a prisoner in the tower, and she's basically just doing a whole Grima Wormtongue thing and like getting up in everybody's ear and being like, yeah, Elyda's actually, the bad guy, not me. And everyone's just kind of buying it. If you're into that kind of thing, sure, it's probably great. But my number one thing, and I've said this for numerous videos now, is I need to see the tower split resolve itself. This book, I don't need it dragged out to book 14. I need it done this book. Gathering Storm needs to conclude this one way or the other. Like I've been saying, either on a fight, or they sit down and they sign treaties and they smoke the peace pipe together. It needs to happen. I don't think it's going to happen because of just how Elyda is, at least not that way, but something needs to finish it, and I'm hoping it happens in this book, and I'm hoping that maybe fans just kind of got it confused. I know sometimes they don't know what book I'm on, so or when it happened and what book, so they kind of say stuff and they don't know if it's happened in that book yet or not. So I'm hoping maybe they meant this book and not Knife of Dreams, because her thing in Knife of Dreams didn't do anything for me one way or the other. So yeah, I'm going to keep sticking with this. The tower solution needs to happen, and it needs to happen, like I said, this book, or it's really going to get to the point where I'm just going to be done with it, like how I was with the Andor throne thing with Elayne. What else? Rodel Ituralde, I hope I'm saying that right. That's how I've been saying it, Ituralde. I need to see more of this guy. I think when he first showed up, I believe in Crossroads of Twilight, that might have been the first one, I might be incorrect on that. I thought he was just going to be like a one-off prologue character like he's done a couple times, just, someone who's just there for the prologue, and you never see him again. And now that I'm seeing him more than once, it's okay, this guy has actually got some more to him. So I'd like to see more about him. I think that he's he seems like he knows what's going on. I think that he is one of the great generals with Davram Bashir. I might be wrong on that. I don't know. I like I said, I recognize the name, but I also just thought it was just a one-off. So at this point, there's so many names have been kind of crammed into this that you start to just, hey, if I don't see this name numerous times, I'm going to forget about it. And that's kind of how I felt about with this guy. But I like it showing his battle tactics and stuff. It seems like he's ahead of the curve. And besides Matt, he seems like the best war tactician right now. So I'd like to see some more about this character. Maybe see him interact with our core characters. And I feel like that's eventually going to happen, unless, like I said, you never see him again. I doubt that. I don't feel like he would show up twice like this, and just really completely just having his shit together against the Seanchan. I don't feel like he's just going to kind of disappear. So I'd like to see more of him. Something that happened in Knife of Dreams that surprised me is they started talking about the Dark One seals again. So are the seals essential to the story anymore? Because Moiraine tells all the other Forsaken they need to find these things, but like most of the books, the Forsaken only have one chapter in the book, and you don't see anything else. I've gone on record numerous times about how incompetent I think they are, so I don't think that they'll be able to solve this on their own or something like that. But I don't feel like Robert brought it up in his final book in this story that he actually got to write without it going somewhere. I feel like Knife of Dreams, if anything, was a course correction, getting everyone lined up to where they're supposed to be, getting all these plot lines resolved. I mean, we've entered the Shido and Fail. We've entered a lot of these things that we don't, the Andor throne thing, thank God that one's over. And now we can focus on Tarmangaiden. So I feel like that's where we're headed with this. And I think that the seals are actually going to be important, or he wouldn't have brought it up in the last book. But sticking with the Forsaken here, Cimarog was actually captured by Cadsuane and Rand's group at the end of Knife of Dreams. And I just started thinking, there's a couple things that could come out of this. Either is she going to be the new Asmodean, with the one that kind of like teaches Rand some things? Because that was something that I was really, really liking when he got, kiboshed. And I kind of liked that. But then I also thought, Cimarog definitely doesn't seem like that type. But then I also got to thinking, is something that I know that another unpopular opinion is that I hate the way that... And I know this makes me sound like a monster, and I swear that's not how I mean it. What I mean is, like, when you're like Matt, and you're about to be killed, and it's a woman, and you decide you're just going to let yourself die, then dare defend yourself. Yeah, that stuff's kind of getting old to me. I understand the whole matriarchy, patriarchy thing. I get that. But I have a problem with the... Yes, it's a matriarchal world, but matriarchal? Tough word. It's the world is a matriarchy, but we also have chivalry, and I don't know. It's something that's been kind of annoying me. So I started thinking, okay, they've actually taken Cimarog prisoner. Is this the point where Rand finally turns a corner and says, okay, you got to go? Because they don't get much more evil than Cimarog. I don't believe. Maybe Grendel. I don't know. So Grendel. Thinking Beowulf and Grendel. That doesn't really apply here. So does Rand finally get past that block, and does he actually do some damage to the ladies here? So we'll see. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if that's a wish, as much as I just kind of would like to see that whole point just be retired, but that's the best way to do it. But sticking with Rand here, what impact does him losing a hand have? I don't know if that was foretold or anything like that. I'm sure that there's some kind of men viewing or something that I missed that actually said that this was going to happen or something like that. And I didn't even notice looking at the cover until after this that they've kind of hidden that his hand is missing here. Very, very clever. Very clever. I haven't picked up, I think he's on the front of Memory of Light. I haven't picked that one up yet to even look if he has a hand on that. So I don't know if this is something they're going to be able to reverse, or if it's something that even matters. I don't know if this is just hey, Luke Skywalker got his hand cut off. Let me have my hero's hand cut off too. But that's actually something that happens a lot in fantasy. You see everybody's hands or fingers getting cut off, things like that. So it's not anything new or whatever. But I don't know what the implications are going to be. Can he still channel the same way as he used to? I mean, I don't know how much of it is based off your hands. I don't really know. Someone much more versed in this universe than me probably can answer that question. But I'd like it to have some kind of impact other than just... he's stumpy now. He's got a stump. So there we go. Does Lews Therin keep gaining ground? Probably one of my favorite chapters, besides the Golden Crane flies for Tarmangayden part, is the where Rand and Lews Therin are fighting off the Trollocs, and basically he gives Rand. I don't know if that's that he gives Lews Therin the keys, but he kind of takes a step back, and Lews Therin does his thing and just wrecks shop. So I want to know. It just seems like a little bit more each time. Lews Therin gains a little bit of ground on Rand actually like taking over. So does Rand eventually become Lews Therin kind of thing? Does he kind of take over? You know, you got Cimarog laughing, saying he's going insane, and there's no stopping him once he's hearing the voice. So, is that how this resolves itself? Does he finally just embrace it and just basically become Lews Therin? That I don't know how I would feel about that. It would be quite dark, I think, since all Lews Therin is he's got a death wish. He just wants to die. So I'd like to see how much more ground he's going to gain here. But as always, that's some of my favorite parts of these books is when Rand is talking to Lews Therin. It's always entertaining. And I think something that made me laugh in Knife of Dreams was that Lews Therin thinks Rand's just a voice in his head, thinks he must be going mad. That's classic. I love it. But you know what? Who's to say he's not wrong? Time is a wheel, right? So maybe he's hearing Rand's voice in his time. Who knows? There's just so many things they could do with this, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy to think about when we start getting into it. Obviously, my biggest wish for this whole book is Moiraine. I don't want to see this her inevitable return to the story. I don't want to see it dragged out all the way until the last battle. I don't want her just showing up at the end to save the day. As awesome as it would be, I need some Moiraine. I haven't had her in, 6-7 books now. I'd like her to show up before the last battle, you know, because right now I'm thinking, when she shows up and turns the tide of battle, just like the Battle of Helm's Deep with Gandalf. That's what I feel like that's aiming for right now, but I'm hoping it don't. I really hope they don't drag this on for 3 books, because not only do I want to see more Moiraine, I want to see how Sanderson writes Moiraine, you know. So I would like to see more than just the climax of the series with her showing up. And that leads me to obviously Mat, Noal, and Thom's adventure. I think that Noal is actually Jane Farstrider. The way he talks about how his cousin or whatever, how he left his wife and let his wife die so he could go be a fool or whatever. To me, that sounds like something you say when you're like, I don't want anybody to kind of know this because I've just got things about. But that's not really super important. I don't think it changes the story one way or the other if he is or whatever. But I'm definitely interested in Noal to see a little more about him, and I'm glad he's kind of the one that's going on this adventure with them. And I'm always up for more Mat and Thom. Even going all the way back to, when was it Shadow Rising, I think, when it was like Thom and Mat teamed up, and I was like, God, I want more of that. And so I'm definitely interested in seeing that group right there, and obviously their journey to go get Moiraine. When I know that the 12th book is called The Towers of Midnight, I'm pretty sure that's what it's about, so I don't expect to see that one resolve this story. So I'm hoping that I doubt I'm going to get Moiraine in this book, but I hope that I do get her before the end, I guess. So it's kind of cheap. Kind of a cheat putting it on the wish list for this, but I can still wish for it, even though I'm pretty sure, just using my basic skills of deduction there, that it's probably not going to happen. This one. Let's talk about Perrin here. I'm glad that the Fael Shido thing is over. I've been asking for that to be over for a while. I'm glad it's over. How about you give me the execution of Savannah here, just to kind of cap that. I don't want to see okay, we're just going to let you go, don't do it again, and then she goes to rebuild. You know, I would rather not see that. I don't want to see that ever come back again. I don't think I will, because it just, like I said, I feel like he's lining everything up for the last battle to be the focus here, so we don't want to deal with that anymore. But yeah, so a new direction for Perrin. Ever since, gosh, he first came back in Lord of Chaos, it's been everything after Dumai's Wells has been Fael this, Fael that. So I would like to see him actually have a new purpose here, even if it's just heading to Tarmangayden. I'd like to see, I'd actually like to see an actual reunion tour with Rand, because I felt like what we got with the reunion tour in Crown of Swords it started cool, and then just, I guess they faked being mad at each other or something. So I'd like to actually see some more of that. I mean, one day I want to see Perrin, Mat, and Rand all together again, but I don't think that's going to happen before the last battle, most likely. But I can still hope for it, right? Yeah, and how about a confrontation with Masema for turning Aram against him? Because, man, that actually messed me up. I didn't expect to see Aram turn like that. So Yeah, how about a confrontation between Perrin and Missima here? I feel like they've been kind of angling towards it for a couple of books here, and I'm pretty sure Perrin knows he's full of shit. So at this point, I think he's got irrefutable proof, and he needs to go and bust that ass. So there we go. What do we have left? I mean, I would say give Elayne something else to do, but I hope it's nothing. I don't know what else I can say about Elayne. I'll get into it more in my Nynaeve of Dreams review, but yeah, she's not doing anything to make me like her anymore. In fact, she's only doing things that makes me hate her more. She got a lot of good people killed in Nynaeve of Dreams, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I feel like she's being written to be so unlikable that I can find no redeeming qualities in her except she's really pretty. I mean, that's about it. That's about it. So I don't care. Hey, she's pregnant. Cool. Go be pregnant. Sit on your throne and wait for the babies to show up. And yeah, don't be on my page anymore. That's where I'm at. Something that really awesome that happened in Nynaeve of Dreams, obviously, is Nynaeve's story. It was just one chapter. One POV chapter at least. But obviously it was one of the biggest chapters, I think, so far in the series. It was a great, great moment. So I'd like to see a little more of her recruitment tour. She's going to be getting some supporters there for Lan to follow him into Tarmogoyf. So I'd like to see her maybe do a little bit more in that and just being awesome, because I thought she was awesome in the last book. And I'd like to see her do more of being awesome, because I like Nynaeve doing awesome stuff. And I want to see Lan. Hopefully I see him leading some of these forces before the last battle. Hopefully I can see some more of Lan. But I say Lan every one of these reviews. I say, or sorry, these wish lists. I say I want to see more Lan. So obviously I think I'm going to get it, but I'm hoping, like Moiraine, it isn't just okay, he's going to show up at the last battle and that's where you'll see him next. I do hope that there's some of him in 11 and 12. Or I'm sorry, 12 and 13. I don't know why I keep thinking it's 11, 12, and 13. 13 feels like an ending for a book series like this, not 14, but there we are. A couple other things. Cadsuane and Verin, there's like this little mystery going between the two of them. I'll elaborate it a little more in my Nynaeve of Dreams review, but I feel like they've been playing like this whole cat and mouse game the whole time, and I'm not sure who to trust here. Basic logic says don't trust Cadsuane because she's just not really likable. But on the other hand, it's like, Verin did some pretty shady shit way back early this year. I want to say it was all the way back in like Great Hunt. Yeah, she did some pretty shady stuff. So I'm working off the theory that one of them's a dark friend. I don't know which one. Right now, unfortunately, I'm leaning Verin. But there's definitely something going on here. There's definitely something going on. I mean, this point, both of them could be, it wouldn't be shocking or whatever, but there's something much more to hear between these two. They've been doing this for way too many books now for this just to be, just them being catty with each other. So there's definitely very, very big mystery going on there, and I hope that I get some kind of resolution to that in this book, if not by the end. Got a couple more notes here. More Loghain. I think I'm liking Loghain more every single one of these books. And we saw in the last one, this dude's really freaking powerful. He sees those weaves that he thinks it's Rand, but it's actually Lews Therin doing, and he's actually apparently he's able to like copy these. So this dude is seriously, seriously powerful. And this is not. I'm not going to go on record as saying this is a theory or anything, but I've kind of been thinking that. Is there a chance, and this might just be because I'm reading Harry Potter to my kid right now, and there's a chapter in one of the Harry Potter books where they talk about how if things went like one tick differently, Neville could have been, the boy who lived instead of Harry. And I just started thinking, like, is there a chance that maybe Loghain actually is the true dragon and Rand is a false dragon? That's when I started being like, all right, calm down here. Or is it one of these weird, like, glitches in the Matrix or a thread in the pattern or something where they're both the dragon? I don't know. I feel like Loghain is so powerful, and I feel like right now he could actually like stand against Rand if he had to. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm standing at right now. But I definitely feel like they've been kind of building up slowly Loghain. Min keeps having that viewing about him. Having like, I think she says he has like a halo, and it's like he's basking in glory or something. I forget the actual prophecy that she gives there, or viewing, not prophecy. Sorry, her viewing. But yeah, more Loghain all the time. I want to know more about this guy. I said I think I like him more every time he shows up. So definitely more Loghain would be cool. And I guess I just want to end with, I just want to say, does Sanderson write with the same feel as Jordan? I believe the foreword that Sanderson puts in the book is something about, or maybe I read it on his website, I don't remember, was that he wasn't going to write Wheel of Time trying to emulate, being Robert Jordan, but he was going to adapt his writing style to fit the Wheel of Time kind of thing. And obviously, knowing Sanderson like I know him now, I know that he's not going to do a crappy job of this. Obviously, he's going to do a very good job. But the feeling that I would like to have is like, if you didn't tell me that it was a different author, I wouldn't know. That's kind of what I'm hoping to feel. Is if it didn't say Brandon Sanderson on the cover and you had no idea who this author Robert Jordan was, and you just had these books, would you even be able to tell that there was a change? I've already had a lot of people say he does a good job, except there's some things he does with Matt that a lot of people kind of didn't click with. Okay, all right. I think Matt's probably a very hard character to write, so I'm not sure how that's going to work. But I want to see these things. Is there noticeable changes in the prose? I'm sure there will be some. But I feel like this is almost going to be like a tribute, at least this one, a tribute book to Robert Jordan. So it's not going to be a ton of, change in direction or anything like that. So, again, this is all speculation. I'm sure you guys knew because you guys were waiting for these and you knew, really what he had to work with and things like that. I've only heard rumors. Guys, I am at the point where I'm so close to the end now, I don't even want to Google a freaking name because I'm afraid the autocomplete will ruin something for me. So, like I said, I'm this close to the end. I don't want anything ruined for me. So I'm not even trying to research this. I'm this close to the end. I'm just going to finish it. Then I can learn all this backstory about how Sanderson took over and all these kinds of things and all these theories and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I'm at for my wish list right now. I'm probably a little shorter than the usual wish list, but I don't know. I don't even know how long I've been talking now. Seems like I could turn this camera on and talk to you forever. As you'll probably see with when I do the Knife of Dreams review, is I was looking at my notes and saw it was pretty long. So it might be a pretty long video. I'm not sure. But one thing I've decided with these, usually I'll do these long videos and I'll edit them down if I feel like I was rambling. With Wheel of Time, I just decided I'm just going to let the camera go. I'm not even going to look at a timer. I usually do set a timer to kind of keep myself under 20 minutes or, for a regular review and under about 30-40 minutes for a Wheel of Time review. I've decided now for Wheel of Time, I'm just going to let it go because I feel like you guys will listen to me ramble about Wheel of Time for as long as I'll talk about it, which thank you. That's awesome. Glad you guys enjoy that. My wife definitely doesn't like to listen to me ramble, so I'm glad someone does. Anyway, guys, so that's where I'm at, and hopefully next time I see you, I'll have this whole room situation figured out. I got the clock up there now, so yeah. It didn't disappear. It's just not going to be in camera sight anymore. But I won't be getting a new shelf anytime soon because of what's going on right now with not being able to go out in public, or basically everybody wanting to stay home, self-quarantine, I guess you'd say. So or social distancing, I believe is the term we're using. I do that anyway. It's just not really a big deal. But I'll wait until all that ends, so I can go get me a new bookshelf. But I'm going to put up something temporary there, something to try to fill the gap that's against my wall right now before I flip back around and get back to normal. So that's it, guys. I am just rambling like a fool now. So thank you guys for watching. I'm very excited to keep going with this series. And like I said, I just want to kind of get this down before I actually started reading. So I'll actually have started reading before I do my Knife of Dreams review, which is crazy, but I feel like I'm reading them faster than I can review them right now. And guess that's a good sign, right? It's a very, very good sign. So, yeah, the pace has picked up, and I'm excited to keep going. So, guys, drop in the comments, please. No spoilers after the first 11 books, because, yeah, like I said, I made it this far without spoilers. I don't want to be spoiled, and I don't want you to answer these questions. These are just things I would like to see happen or guesses that I'm making along the way. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you in the comments.